Hello, everyone. Welcome to MVP TechBytes. Today we have Mukhammadkarim with us. Muhammad, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. Hello, folks. Hello, dears. Let me introduce about my background and myself. I'm a Mukhammadkarim, as told Taswar, software engineer. I've been working in the software engineering for 10 years, in the .NET, in the Microsoft stack, 6 years. I'm a Microsoft MVP also. I love Microsoft. I love Microsoft products like .NET and Azure also. I'm from Uzbekistan.
Yeah, it's great to have you from Uzbekistan. We have different
Ah,
MVPs all around the world. Sounds good. So, Muhammad Kareem, today you wanted to talk about microservices.
message
So,
brokers,
and
right?
yeah, exactly, message brokers. So let's jump onto your slides and see what you're going to be speaking to us today.
hmm Today, we're gonna be talking about message brokers. Actually, this is the main topic, and
Mhm.
I'll also give you some information about the communication of message brokers in a microservice architecture. The first of all, I need to explain about the microservice architecture. First of all,
Mhm.
microservice. In the software engineering, two kind of the main architecture for software developer, software application. The first one is a monolith architecture. The second one is a microservice architecture. Monolith architecture, in the actually we have a one single application.
Mhm.
Single deployable application there. In the microservice architecture can include more deployable and more independently services and or applications also.
Mhm.
What is the benefits there? Microservice architecture can help to distribute our applications. In
Mhm.
additionally, distribute the pressures to a lot of services, a lot of the servers also. I mean,
Mhm.
our microservice architecture can include, as I mentioned, the more deployable independently applications, and we can deploy our independently applications to particular servers. We can direct the first service to next server and the last server. Maybe in the result we can distribute our client's pressure, request pressure. Microservice
Okay.
architecture can help you for that also. The first reason is pressure, and the second, the benefits of the microservice architecture, or something, there is error, something exceptions there, and that crash it, and it doesn't affect to our another applications. In the
Mhm.
monolith architecture, it can affect. If there is any crashes in our applications, all of the system will crash there.
So just to summarize in some ways, basically, if I analyze it,
hmm
microservices and monolithic is like basically in order to scale it, you need to have the whole
hmm
monolith scaled. When you talk about
hmm
microservices, for example, a shopping cart component
hmm
could be scaled more because you have more shopping going on, while some other system that is like sending emails out does not need to be scaled. So you could scale different
hmm
things. If you think about it more in a different way, let's say you're going to a store, you need more cashiers, which are physical people. You don't need people to stock the shelves that much. Do you understand what I mean? No need to put the stuff. You need more people to be buying stuff. So in some ways, you could scale the people who are actually cashiers to sell it, then rather than stocking stuff, sort of thing. So I mean, that's the kind of analogy that I kind of get from it. So what I mean is like now that we know microservices, how
hmm
does message brokers actually help with this microservice architecture?
hmm Message broker is a source party application, a software application between of the two services, or it can help to we have two types of the communications between of the services. The first communication type is a synchronous communication.
Mhm.
Synchronous communication, we can implement it using the standard libraries, or using send a request using http clients, right? In the .NET or in the Java maybe, can include HTTP client, web client classes to the
Mhm.
send requests to another applications. The second one is asynchronous operations or asynchronous communication, as you said. We can implement asynchronous operation using message brokers, because message brokers can help the first service send request to the message broker, and the message broker can collect all of the requests, and the message
Mhm.
brokers will give our requests one by one to second services. If we
Mhm.
use a message broker, our two services doesn't know each other.
Mhm.
In the synchronous operations, our both of services can discuss or can talk directly, right?
Mhm.
And there is no middleware of that between of that.
Yeah.
We can, if we can use the message brokers between of the two services, we can place it, and they cannot communicate directly.
Mhm.
Because they will communicate using message brokers, and there is any benefits between of them. Just imagine if we use the synchronous operations. If you send the more requests, and all of the clients send the requests to our services, or maybe
Mhm.
user services, right? User services, and then there is a generator service.
Mhm.
Maybe Excel generator or PDF generator services, and we have a 1,000 users, and 1,000 users send a request at the same time to our Excel generator. I mean, in the synchronous operation, and the Excel generators cannot catch up to the generate all of the PDFs for
Mhm.
every clients, because maybe it can catch up to it for 10 clients, and after that they cannot catch up to do it, because they will be maybe request timeout, right?
Mhm.
And our 100 users cannot wait, and it's gonna be request timeout. And asynchronous operations, we can collect all of the requests between of the applications in the message broker. Message broker can give it one by one. If we our second generator application, if
Mhm.
they turn it off, message brokers cannot turn it off, because will not delete in the message brokers system.
Mhm.
If our generator service will turn on in the future, in the next, can get or continue to fetch our requests from the message brokers. It can
Exactly.
help
Yeah.
to not drop our requests. Yeah.
Mhm. What you mean is basically if you have two components, two microservices communicating with each other, if you use a message broker, you could actually have the messages in the message broker, and the other service can pick up these messages. And even if the message
Mhm,
goes down, let's say the other message is
mhm,
supposed to pick up, the message still remains there. And when it comes back up alive, it could start off from where it left off. So in some ways,
mhm.
it's more of a resilient service that you could provide.
Yeah, exactly. This is the benefits of message brokers.
So, what are the different types of message brokers and how do they compare? Like, can you explain? Like, I mean, we talked about message brokers and the advantages.
Mhm,
What are the different types
mhm.
of message brokers that are out there?
Actually, we have in the world a lot of message brokers types
Mhm.
related to more companies, and we have the most popular message brokers in the world,
Mhm.
like RabbitMQ
Mhm.
or Kafka, maybe, or
Okay.
ActiveMQ also, right? And there is any difference between of them. This is like the TCP and UDP protocols, right? Maybe let me explain the difference between of the Kafka and RabbitMQ. You can see in my screen the
Mhm.
difference between of them. Kafka can provide do the message streaming and the distribution. RabbitMQ and the message queuing. This is like the. I mean, RabbitMQ is reliable. It can help to get all of the data one by one in the queue
Mhm.
inside of the queue. In the Kafka, it can help to stream our data, and we
Mm,
can get our maybe our application from the database with the streaming. Just imagine we have a 100 millions rows in our database, right?
mm,
In our database, and in this actually we can get all of the data at the same time using select
mm,
operation. And in the RabbitMQ, or in the actual tradition situations, there is any pause and there is any smooth. It will take more time to fetch our data. I mean, it's about 100 million rows. If we
mm.
use the Kafka, if you use the Kafka, we can get it with the streaming. And
Okay.
if our applications can get 100 or 200 rows,
Mm,
200 rows, it can get it. After get it again 200 rows, and one by
mm.
one, if they get it, they can show in our maybe in our UI. I mean, it's gonna be with the streaming. RabbitMQ can help to get our data reliable. Kafka is can help to our get the data high performance. If you need
Mm.
the high performance to fetch our data, use the Kafka. If you want to get reliable data, you use a RabbitMQ also.
Okay. Okay. So
Uh,
basically, if I look at it, Kafka versus RabbitMQ, it's like Kafka is, it's really like if you're like a really big retailer and you need to
yeah.
stream all this data of people shopping all the time continuously, e-commerce site, Kafka might be a
Mm-hmm.
good idea. But let's say you're a startup and you're starting off and like you're doing some transactions, you're not as big as like the big e-commerce. You could go with RabbitMQ and it still provides a really good, reliable service out of it. I,
Mm-hmm.
I would see Kafka more of a LinkedIn kind of a thing where LinkedIn, you know, how many people are sending messages to each other or posting stuff. It would be, or even like Facebook when people are posting stuff. So it would be a great
Mm,
candidate for
mm.
using Kafka. Cool.
Protocols, about the protocols, Kafka can work in the Kafka protocol, and the RabbitMQ gonna work in the AMQP protocol, right?
Mm,
AMQP stands for Advanced Message Queuing Protocol. And performance, as I mentioned, it's high throughput and a low latency in the Kafka. In the RabbitMQ also, actually good throughput, but higher latency compared to than the Kafka, right?
okay.
Implementation. So we're gonna implement the message broker. Maybe let me explain and implement the message broker using .NET. Your subscribers know about the .NET, right? It's because
Yes.
Microsoft lowers there. Okay. The first of all, we need to install the RabbitMQ. This is like RabbitMQ can include their own platform like PostgreSQL, right?
Mm,
PostgreSQL can work as a server, and RabbitMQ also can work as a server in the
mm,
default host and the port, like PostgreSQL and other services. And the PostgreSQL has a IDEA, integrated development IDEA, right? Like PG admin, and the RabbitMQ also has own IDEA using
mm.
the browser. I will show it after the implementation. The first of
Sure.
all, we need to install and download the .NET 8, the latest version of the .NET, using this link, and download the install RabbitMQ. And I need to talk about the one thing before that. If you use the RabbitMQ, or if you are gonna use the RabbitMQ, you need to install Erlang programming language, because Kafka is written in Java and
Mm,
Scala programming language. RabbitMQ was created in Erlang programming language, because
okay.
RabbitMQ is based on the Erlang. That's
Mm,
why we gotta install the Erlang SDK. If you wanna get and if you wanna install the RabbitMQ application, you can see the any requirements there about
mm,
installing the Erlang, and access the RabbitMQ management interface, like the IDEA. This is a dashboard of the RabbitMQ. You can see the in this port after the installing. So set up RabbitMQ in a .NET application. The first of all, we gotta create a new .NET application using .NET CLI. Create a new .NET application, .NET Web API, or whatever you want templates in the of the .NET. .NET new Web API output sample RabbitMQ, whatever you want, name of the application. After that, install the RabbitMQ Client library from the new get. This is a package manager of the .NET, like npm, right? Like pip of the Python. You can install this library. Library name is RabbitMQ.client. .NET add package RabbitMQ.client. That's whatever you want, and configure your RabbitMQ for the .NET using connection factory special class, and you gotta create a new connection of that using that. The third step, implement publisher and the consumer. You know about any measure components of the RabbitMQ. RabbitMQ can include the measure components, 4 types of the first type, the publisher. Second type, consumer. Source type is exchanger. First one is a QE. The first one is a publisher and a consumer. Using publisher, you can call as producer also. Publisher equals to producer. Producer and a publisher, this is the same. And you can use this publisher for sending the message. If you want to send the message from our user service to the RabbitMQ, use the publisher. If you want to fetch any data from the RabbitMQ to your generator services, as I mentioned it, use the consumer. So let's implement it. Implement the publisher. This is kind of message, and whatever you want, you can use all of the types of the objects. In the result, while the sending a request to the RabbitMQ, you should convert to the byte array that required. This is a sample message and the hello RabbitMQ. This is a string typed message, and this is a publishing process, and the consuming process. This is it. After that, run and test. You can check it. So let me show the sample in the Visual Studio. So I have created a new application using .NET 8. This is a structure of the .NET application. First of all, I've installed the package. I'm gonna show also again. Click the right button of the mouse to the project. After that, you can click the Manage NuGet Packages. It's gonna be shown there, and using right library name there, you can install it. RabbitMQ.client. This is a package. This is the most popular package for the RabbitMQ. You should install it there, and I have already installed it there. If you wanna, if your package or if your installed package was deprecated, you can install the new version or update this package. After that, so I have created the new service for RabbitMQ. This is a custom service. If you can create also abstraction for that, and you know about interfaces in the .NET. Maybe you can create iRabbitMQ service. This is a interface, and you can create after that a RabbitMQ service. And I didn't create the new interfaces for that. If you want to create the new interfaces, you should implement there. Maybe RabbitMQ service, right? And you gotta implement there using that. And I have no abstractions. That's why it's not necessary for that for now. So this is a special class, iConnection. This is related to RabbitMQ also. You can get it the namespace of that. This is a queue name. Like, you know, the queue, this is a container for for the requests, and all of the requests, all of the messages can collect inside of the one queue.
So in some ways, you could have multiple queues too, right? You could have like a, I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah. We can create the multiple queues there also.
Exactly.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
So this is
using
more like
it's
referring. Exactly.
yeah,
This is referring to that specific queue, which is called your queue name,
yeah,
and you could
great,
have like a customer queue or a finance queue or any other
great.
queue that the message should be going on to.
Yeah, exactly. You can we have also maybe more publisher, more consumer, more
Yeah.
query also, right?
Mhm.
If you're, we can implement, we can achieve using exchanger.
Yeah.
This is like advanced. Okay, this is a method for sending a message, for sending a message. This is a method for receiving the message also from the RabbitMQ. You
Mhm.
can get it. We cannot send the string typed or another custom typed messages directly. We
Mhm.
should convert to the byte array. You can see it inside of the wire
Yeah.
is a, yeah,
Yeah. It's a byte
byte
array.
array. Okay, this is an event for
Mhm.
if you are wanna get any data from the
Mhm.
publisher. It can
Yeah.
help to get it, and real in the real time it's gonna be listened. So this is a dispose using idisposable implementation in the using statement. Let's use it in the controller. In the controller, I've used it.
Mhm.
Send message in the post method.
Yeah.
This is a get method for checking. Send message, receive message. Using, the using statement.
Yes.
Using
Mhm.
statement. Yeah, it
Mhm.
can help to it can help to remove our unnecessary objects automatically without
Mhm.
the garbage collector. Right. This is a reason of the idisposable, and
Yeah.
that's why I have implemented the idisposable in that service.
This is sort of like a synthetic sugar, I would say,
Yeah,
because using
great.
and then automatically dispose it. You don't have to use like try, catch, finally, or anything like that. You're just using the using statement. It used to be that you use using and loop it around, but now you could actually use
Mhm.
it in one line.
So as I mentioned it, we have installed. Just imagine we have installed the RabbitMQ, and
Yeah.
let me open it. You can write the search. We have a kind of application related to RabbitMQ.
Okay.
RabbitMQ start, RabbitMQ stop, and RabbitMQ restart applications. So let me start our RabbitMQ application. RabbitMQ.
Mhm.
Oh, RabbitMQ stopped application. This is it. I've stopped it.
Okay.
Just wait. Our service is down, and let me start it. RabbitMQ start. Yeah, started. Let's check it. If you invite this URL
Mhm.
localhost, this kind of the port, you can see kind of page. This is an
Mhm.
official page, locally page of the RabbitMQ, and we have a temporary log username and a password for
Okay.
login there.
Mhm.
Guest. You can write guest. If you wanna secure your application or RabbitMQ servers, you can change it.
Mhm.
Guest login. Okay. So you can track your any connections or channels, their quiz also. There is no any quiz as you see. We can add new quiz manually there or using our applications also. Let's start our .NET application. Let's
Sure.
check it after that in the RabbitMQ dashboard. We have an application. Let's
Mhm.
send it. We have two APIs in the
Yeah.
Swagger. Yeah, try it out. Message, hello, MVP TechBytes. Execute. Yeah, this is a 200 success
Yeah.
code.
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess it is recorded to our RabbitMQ application. Let's open
Yeah.
it.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can see our one query. This is our query name, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Your query name. This is a sample for our applications. RabbitMQ service. This is our query name, right?
Yeah.
And we can open our query manually using this dashboard.
Yeah.
After that, you can get message there also. We have a for now we one message, right? You
Mhm.
can count off the message. there, get message. Hello, MVP from TechBytes, Mukhammadkarim. That's also
Yeah.
right. And we can get using our applications also. Our applications also execute. This is the result. And
Mhm.
our source party application and our source party middle application can store our message inside of that. This is a result. And let me our QE there get message also, right?
Mhm.
QE is empty. You can see this kind of the message there.
Yeah.
Or can I refresh there? Uh-huh. Yeah, there is no message because we've lost already. We've fetched it already. This
Mhm.
our message. There is no any message. If you wanna, this is a sample for that, and I'm gonna show the any key benefits of the RabbitMQ also. Just imagine we sent the request to RabbitMQ also. Hello,
Mhm.
MVP from TechBytes from Mokhammadkarim, and our RabbitMQ stored our data, get message. That is done. And just imagine we've stopped our application, right?
Yeah.
I've stopped it. I've stopped it, and our application has stopped. Uh, in the actually in the traditions, all of the requests can crash there
Mhm.
if we stop our application.
Yeah.
uh, we can we can store, and the message broker can store our applications there. Get message, you can see there. If
Mhm.
you if you start your .NET application, or you want a lot of wanted application, you can see, you can fetch your expected message from the RabbitMQ. Let's start it also.
So the RabbitMQ is almost acting like a database of messages that it stored, and you could
Mm-hmm.
technically just go back to it and say, okay, my
Mm-hmm.
like you're basically starting off, and then you could say to give me the last messages that I have because I need to continue on.
Yeah. Execute. Execute. Hello, MVP TechBytes from Mukhammadkarim. So
Yeah.
our message was saved, right, in the
Yeah.
RabbitMQ.
Mhm.
This is a demo.
Thank you, Mohammed. Like it was very great to see all these C sharp code. I miss my C sharp. Uh,
Uh,
so I learned quite a bit from you, like RabbitMQ, how to get it up and running. Seems fairly easy actually to get
mhm.
RabbitMQ up and running, and to actually send messages and all that stuff. Maybe we'll have a more advanced one next time too. But I want to say thank you. I learned quite a
Yeah.
lot today. Great. So thank you
Hmm.
so much. So hopefully I'll see you next time. Take care.
Yeah.
Mm,
Take care. Thank you,
thanks.
Taswar.
Bye.
Appreciate.